Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you my monthly setup for February, but first of all we're going to look back at my January setup and see how it all worked out. As you can see on the habits and mood tracker, I filmed this video quite early in the month because I had a lot of stuff to do the last week. And therefore I also didn't manage to do the last weekly setup, but I will just copy this one you see here on the left to the right side, so they will be exactly identical because I really like how this one worked out for me. And now moving on to this month, I'm starting off with the front page as I did the last month, and first of all I'm going to draw out a rectangle with my pencil and my ruler to make guidelines for the flowers I'm going to use as like an accent theme for this month. I'm going to use these two Tombow duo brush pens that I got this Christmas in number 991 and number 772, which is sort of this blush rosy color and this yellow color, and I think they match so well together and really gives this spring vibe, which was also my intention because I am almost in a spring mood here in February, even though I know that it's first in March that spring really begins. But I just wanted to make this theme with all of the flowers and the cute pastel colors, since I also really wanted to use my new Tombow brush pens. To draw the flowers I just got a lot of inspiration off of Pinterest, Instagram and YouTube. And I did not draw in a specific pattern, I just drew whatever I felt like sort of needed and whatever would fit in to make it all look good together in the end. To do the font in the middle, I used my Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen in the size extra small as usual and just did some basic calligraphy. I really wanted to have a calendar at my front page, so I went back to my future log, looked at February and how the dates went with the different days. I just want to mention for you guys that the purpose of this monthly setup was to keep it very simple and easy to catch up with, since I knew that I had a lot of stuff to do in the month of February. So here you can see the finished front page and how simple I made it. I really liked having this calendar at the bottom of the page, so I'm definitely going to use this one for my next spreads. Alright, so moving on to the next page, I'm going to have my monthly overview. And I choose to do the same layout as I did the last month, this vertical layout, because I just think it gave a nice sort of overview and I could really see what I had to do the whole month. To do the calendar itself, I made sure that it would be in the middle of the page, and as you can also see, I choose to put in the monthly theme by doing these flower bouquets at the top and also, as you will see later, a flower banner at the bottom. I divided the two sections up again into school and personal, so I just could keep track on what I had to do with my family and friends and what I had to do for assignments and tests and so on. And I really liked how this worked out last month, so that is why I'm doing it once again. Alright, so there you have my monthly overview, and as you can see I just did the same types of flowers as I did on the front page, and you will see me do loads of these on all of the pages, and I just switch between the red and the yellow color constantly to make them mix very beautifully together. Moving on to the next page, I'm going to do my habits and mood tracker. I'm going to do the habit tracker a little bit different than last month because I'm not going to use icons to show what I want to track, but I'm going to write it instead. So I'm just going to flip my bullet journal around and write the things that I want to track. To do this, I'm again going to use my Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen in the size extra small. Here you can see I'm moving one of the borders that I made earlier out to the side so I have more room for my mood tracker. And as you can see here, I'm going to draw flowers sort of coming out from these corners that I have drawn. And by doing this, you will have this really nice effect where it looks like the flowers are sort of surrounding the habit and mood tracker. So I would definitely recommend doing this in your bullet journal. And here you can see the final result. I really like how this turned out, and I'm definitely going to use this technique for others of my spreads. So moving on to the next page, I'm going to do a thing that I didn't have in my previous monthly setup, and that is my monthly vibes. The concept of this page is basically to track the different songs so that you hear this specific month. I personally think that music can really help you to get the same atmosphere from the month or the specific memory whenever you hear back at the songs. So that is why I really wanted to track the different songs that I hear every single month. It's actually very hard for me to explain how I wrote this header, but as you saw, I just drew the monthly and the vibes with the two different Tombow pens. Then I just took a pencil on top of the monthly and then did this drop shadow a bit away from the letters on the vibes. Then again, I just drew the flowers coming out from the vibes to keep the monthly theme going on this spread. For the last page in this monthly setup, I'm going to do this quote that I really like and found on Pinterest. So I really like the idea of doing quotes in your bullet journal because you can really practice your calligraphy, as you can see I did here. And the quote says, "She was gracefully dancing in the waves. She finally understood how you could feel so detached from the world and yet be at one with it." To make the quote fit in with the rest of the theme, I drew these two different lines on the top and at the bottom, and I really liked how it framed the quote. Now I'm just going back to do some touch-up throughout this monthly setup, and as you can see I'm erasing the pencil that I've used for my guidelines and just writing the February title on my monthly overview a bit thicker so it would stand out a bit more. And now that I've done my monthly setup, I'm also going to set up my journaling section in the back of my bullet journal. So here you can see the section for January, and now I'm just going to do almost the same layout for February, but just of course decorating it with the flowers that I used for this monthly theme. And while I'm drawing these flowers, I just wanted to mention for you guys that I'm not going to do a weekly setup in this video, but I am of course going to post it on my Instagram whenever I make it. But now that I'm finished with my journaling section, I can go back to my planning section and show you the final flip through. I really liked how this month turned out. I think it is very simple, elegant and feminine, and I love the color combination of these two Tombow pens. I know that it is very similar to the last month, but since I knew that I'm going to have a lot of stuff to do in February, I just wanted to keep it very simple, nice and neat. So I will just thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on my Instagram. Bye guys!